Hello and welcome back. We are going to go into annotations, and I recommend that if, at the end of this video, you go back to lesson 6, because in lesson 6 you did the same type of thing with Abel and his mom and this dark shape that was underneath the water, and you annotated, you wrote integers, and you used the dots and the labels to graph. So this is basically an example in the future to help you to make sure that that other time you did well. So I'm going to begin by annotating because that's the first part of the directions. Annotation requires two things: highlighting and underlining the keywords, and then putting these symbols, the positive symbol, the zero symbol, and the negative symbol next to or above or below the keyword, depending on how you can kind of arrange it here. So we're going to begin with our highlighter. All right, so Jocelyn went to the bank. She withdrew $60 from her savings account. Then she deposited $20 into a checking account to cover a bill that would happen in a couple of days. Finally, she made no changes to her CD. That's I'm blanking. Certificate of deposit account, because she was not allowed to put money in or take it out of the bank account for 1.5 more years. So a couple of things. First of all, I would recommend that you pause this video and that you do the annotations for yourself, highlighting and bringing down the symbols. When you're done, unpause this video so that we can discuss a little bit of this. Okay, so hopefully you're finished with your annotations, and hopefully you found that the keywords that you wanted to click on and annotate are withdrew. That should be highlighted. Another way that they could have said it is made a withdrawal, where you would have AWAL and the verb made. So that's another alternative. Then she deposited $20 into a checking account. So withdrawals remove money from an account, deposits place money into an account. And that's why the into and the from are also important. I just didn't make it so you could highlight them this time. Finally, making no changes, that is a third integer. If you make no changes to an account, that is a lack of deposits and withdrawals. And so since deposit is positive, it gets the plus sign. Withdrew or withdrawal, that's negative, so it gets the negative symbol. So we're done with those two. And no changes means neither of those, which that's what 0 is. 0 is having no change to something. So this gets the 0 right here, no change. All right, so then we are done with the symbols and the annotation. And you may have noticed that there are 3 numbers in this problem, but only 2 of them actually apply to the same thing. When you're dealing with integers in a story, it all has to be the same type of thing for it to be graphed together. So we have $60, it's withdrew, so that's a negative 60, and that's our first integer. $20 is deposited, so that's positive 20. That has to be your second integer. You don't want to put that first, just because it's positive. And our third integer is not 1.5 because 1.5 is just a number of years, not dollars. It's $0 as our third integer. So we need to make sure that the integers match with the story and also with each other's units. So they're all dollars. So then all of these integers, in this case, represent a number of dollars. Now, a quick side tangent. Savings accounts are things that you typically put money in and you don't take it out very often, but if you need to, you can. There's a limit to how much you can take out and how many times you can take out in a month without getting a fee, but there is some flexibility, unless you're a minor. If you're under 18, then you have a lot more restrictions. Deposits, those are so you put money in, and a checking account is basically an account that is typically very easy to move money around, to put money in, to take money out. And that's why you usually use it for covering bills, because money can go in and out easily. A CD is an account that is closed. Basically, what you do is you make an agreement with the bank saying, I'm going to give you this much money. several hundred or $1,000, and you're going to hold on to that money for me for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it might be, and I'm not going to touch that money. You're going to hold on to my money that whole time, and I'm not going to take anything out of it. The benefit to this account, though, is that they typically give a much better interest rate, and they're locked in. The bank can't change the interest rate, which means that if they tell you they're going to give you 5 cents for every dollar that you put in there, they're going to give you 5 cents for every dollar that you've put in there until the 5 years is up or until the 1 year is up, whatever it might be. So CDs can be very helpful for investing money in like a secure space. But there's a lot of restrictions. You're not allowed to move money in or out. Otherwise you get massive fees, because you're breaking the contract basically. So this may seem pretty extreme, 1.5 more years, you can't take it out or put money in, but it's because of the type of account. All right, let's jump into the graphing. Since these numbers, 60, 20, and 0, can all be graphed counting by 10s or 20s on this number line, it does not matter to me which one you do. I'm going to choose 10s, but if you want to choose 20s, that can actually get you to the numbers faster. So it does not matter. So I'm going to do 10s. The scale always goes to the right of 0, and it's opposite to the left. So the opposite of 10 is -10. And then you're going to build it all the way to the end. At the end, you should have 60 and all the numbers in between. At the ends this way, you should have -60, which in this case is an important integer. Next, all important integers from the story get a dot. So we have the dot for the withdrawal, and I have a label for with that. So that's this one. So I would move the first dot on top of -60 and put the label with there. So you'd want to click on the box, make sure you're on the corner of it, and then move it with your arrows on your keyboard, or if you're able to move the text box, that's fine. You could also change the background of so it's more obvious where the box is. So withdrawal goes here. Next is deposit. So our deposit was $20, so that's +20. So the dot goes here. Notice that I'm putting the dot on the number line, and then there's the labels go above. So deposit goes here. All right, so I'm done with this label and this dot, this label and this dot. So the last one is no change. No change was 0. So the dot goes here, and the abbreviation label goes here. No change. All right. So if you had chosen 20 as your scale, then that means this would be closer, and this would be quite a bit closer because you're counting by 20s. All right, so hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. This was our last example video for the semester. And so if you are having any trouble on any of the work, and just a reminder that everything is due in a couple of days, Friday. There shouldn't be a single lesson that is incomplete or has significant mistakes that you haven't been able to fix. So please make sure you're working hard, turning your assignments in as soon as you are able to, but with good work, so that I can give you feedback before the end. And if you did not do this high quality work on your previous lesson, lesson 6, please go back and make sure that you use this example to help you. All right, I wish you well, and I will hopefully talk to you